Good morning, everybody. This is Eric Lofholm. I want to welcome all of you to our 15-minute daily motivational call. My energy level's a little bit lower than normal. I'm not feeling super fantastic. Having said that, the show must go on, and I'm feeling good enough to be with you guys today. And I'm excited to be with you. I'm excited to share some ideas on principle number 16. Now, before we do that, if you're right-handed, take your right hand. If you're left-handed, take your left hand and pat yourself on the back and tell yourself, great job for being here. And the reason we acknowledge ourselves is you are an extraordinary human being. But sometimes we were raised by our parents, our guardians, our coaches, our mentors, our teachers, the people that were in our life, and they didn't see the greatness in themselves. So think about it logically. How could they see the greatness in you if they couldn't see it in themselves? So we grow up and we're in this environment, and a lot of times people aren't seeing our greatness. And so we take on their belief about ourselves, and it had nothing to do with who we are. It's just that's the belief we took on. And the truth is, you're an amazing human being. So that's why we pat ourselves on the back. Type into the chat, today is going to be a great day. Today is going to be a great day. And we do that to have a mindset of optimism. Expect a miracle. Expect a miracle. So we're going to have a very important conversation today about budgeting time and money. And I have two free courses to offer you guys today. One of them you're going to have to text me or email me because I don't have it in the notes here. But I have a course that I created for on wealth building and on time management. The value of these courses is $1,000 each, and they're yours for free. All you have to do is request them, and I'll give you the information on that when we get to the end of class today. Effectiveness in human endeavor, this is from Hill, calls for the organized budgeting of time. For the average man, the 24 hours of each day should be divided as follows: 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work, 8 hours for recreation and spare time. The successful person budgets time, income, and expenditures living within his means. The failure squanders time and income with a contemptuous disregard for their value. Tell me how you use your spare time and how you spend your money, and I will tell you where and what you will be 10 years from now. So what I want to focus on this call is time. And time is something that we all have the same amount of. No matter your age, the country you live in, how much money you have in the bank account, your intelligence, whether you're a CEO, employee, whatever your role is in life, whatever your job is, whatever your career is, we all have the same amount of time. So how you're going to invest your 24 hours today matters. So golden nugget number one is to think about time with intention, to be intentional about how you're spending your time, just like you being on this Zoom with me or this Facebook Live or the podcast, however you're doing today's class. You're being intentional. You couldn't have happened. You couldn't have gotten here by accident. You just didn't randomly log into a Zoom, right? You're here with intention. So I want you to think about the same skill set that you use to get here, to think about that in your day and to be making a better use of your time. And some of you, for example, need to be prospecting more, and you're resisting prospecting because it's uncomfortable. and it's where you need to be spending your time. So we want to notice, where should I be putting more time in? And why am I not doing it? Why am I avoiding email marketing, for example? One of the greatest leverages in business is email marketing. And some of you don't do email marketing because you haven't been taught it. Some of you, it's not on your radar. Some of you, it's like, well, it's technology. Some of you live in a story of, I don't do email marketing. And so it's just something for you to notice. You want to look at, where can you create leverage? Okay. This call right now is leverage. There's 43 counting me on Zoom, and there's another 20 plus on Facebook, and another 100 will watch or listen to the recording. So let's say when all the dust settles today, 150 people experience this call. So 15 minutes of my time, and I touch 150 people times 15 minutes. Okay, think about the math on that. All right, that's more, let's see here, 150 times 15. Let's say that's the math. 150 people do this call times 15 minutes divided by 60. So 8 minutes from now, I will have produced over 37 hours of result today. Think about that. By 8 a.m. my time, I will have produced 37 hours of result. I'm not saying this to pound my chest and say, look at me and how great I am. I'm saying, think about this for yourself. See, if you're like, well, shoot, Eric, I can do a Zoom or I can do email marketing, but it's out of my comfort zone, but I don't know which software to use, but I have analysis paralysis. So one of our greatest opportunities is to observe ourselves. So you literally take a step back and you look at yourself and you observe, why am I resisting email marketing? Why am I resisting hiring an assistant? Some of you right now have the financial means to hire an assistant. It's the next right thing for you to do, but you have resistance around hiring an assistant because you're like, well, I've never done it before. And where would I find the assistant? And how would I do it? Right. And then your conversation starts going on in your mind. But if you can just quiet your mind and you can observe your resistance and realize, okay, if I hire somebody to be my assistant and I explain to them up front, you'd be my first assistant, and I don't know if it's going to work out. So we're going to do a 30-day trial, and you can try me out as working with me, and I'll try you out, and we'll see how it goes. And hey, if it doesn't work, we had a 30-day run. And then you're like, oh, well, I could do that. And then you hire that assistant, and then the next thing you know, it makes your life a lot easier. So when you can observe yourself and you take a step back and you start thinking about, how can I make a better use of my time? So one of the most important things that you can do, the skill set for 2022 that you want to develop or consider developing, is to prioritize. Because the world's very different today than it was 30 years ago because of the smartphone. Because now you're getting more messages than you ever have. And you don't have to just keep up on one social media platform. You probably have to keep up on multiple social media platforms. And you got to learn all this technology just to keep up. And you're getting hit with all these messages. And it's just different because of that smartphone. So I believe prioritizing is more important than it was 30 years ago. I remember when I got started in business, it was pretty simple. You just showed up for work, you did your job, you went home, and your work didn't come home with you. And now it's like 24/7 because that darn phone's following us around. So you need to develop the muscle of prioritizing. So what do we prioritize? Relationships. So what I want you to think about are the most important relationships in your life. And when you think about those relationships, do those people let's just say your top 10 relationships, the 10 most important human beings in your life. Do they know they're on your top 10 list? Are you spending enough time? Are you giving them enough love? Are you giving them enough encouragement? Are you giving them enough support to let them know how important they are in your life? And this is something I've learned just recently. As I've been going through my life, being busy, and then taking a step back and going, do the people that are closest to me, and that's my immediate family and my inner circle in my company, do those people know how important they are to me? Like Harry Newhan, who's on the line right now. Harry's one of those people in my life, and he's that important to me. So then the question I ask myself is, does Harry know how important he is to me? And I was like, I don't know. Need to tell him. So I started telling him. So he knows, and he feels that from me. So I want you to think about your 10 most important relationships. And, my most important human relationship is my wife. And it's like, okay, does my wife know how much I care about her? Well, she knows I love her. She knows that for sure, but does she really know how much I care about her? And so I've been making more of an effort lately. So she really, really, really knows. Not just knows, but really, really, really knows, if there's such a thing. So this isn't about me. See yourself through my story. If I went to the 10 most important people in your life and I ask them, are they feeling your love, encouragement, and support? What would they say? All right, so that's something for you to prioritize. Then leverage/strategy, right? So this podcast / morning call, this is a strategy. It's a way for me to deliver value to you. It's free. We have the podcast and the Zoom, and there's all these pieces to it. And I got all this business strategy to create this value for you. So you want to have things like this in your life, where you've thought through a business strategy. You're applying business best practices to get the results that you want. Because it's pretty cool. I can just snap my fingers and I can reach 150 people a day in 15 minutes. So and it's not about you doing a morning call, and it's not about technology. It's about leverage. Okay. Then the next one is technology. Technology allows us unique ways of creating leverage. So for example, on this call, we're on Facebook Live and we're on Zoom. So we're integrating technology, and then we're recording it and we're repurposing it on YouTube. Then you want to think about what's going to move the needle. All of this you can access in your brain by asking questions. If you ask yourself, who are my 10 most important relationships and what can I do to consistently let them know how much I care about them? And then you take action on that idea. And then you think, well, where can I create leverage? And this is where business coaches come in, right? Having people that can put their brain on your life and your business to help you. All right. So then you step back and go, but what's going to move the needle? What is going to move the needle? And then training, what we're doing right now. So I'm going to go 5 minutes longer today because I have 5 more minutes of content to share. If you need to go, I totally get it. It's no problem. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you need to hop off the line. But I want to give you a couple more ideas. And the way, by the way, to request the 2 courses, I'll put the time management course in the Zoom chat. And I'll put it in the Facebook chat. And then the wealth building course, I don't have that one ready to go. So you'll need to text me or email me if you want that one. It's a 1-hour course that I created. So eric@ericlofholm.com, and my cell phone's 916-626-1945. So just ask me for the 2 courses and I'll send them to you guys. And these courses are open to the public. So that means you can share them with your friends if you want, share them with your family. Okay, so I got a couple more minutes I want to share with you guys. So some examples of how I think, to have you look at this and go, is there anything I can get out of what Eric's sharing about how he thinks about time? And the first example was me getting remarried. And so I looked at my life when I never thought I was going to be divorced. And that ended up happening. And so I'm looking at my life and I'm like, okay, for my future, I want to recreate my family. And so I thought logically, okay, in order to do that, I'm going to have to, I choose to get remarried. Well, in order to do that, I have to find a fiance. Well, to find a fiance, I need to be in a committed relationship. And to be in a committed relationship, I need a date. In order to date, I need to take somebody out for drinks or coffee. So that's what I started doing. I started taking people that I was interested in getting to know out for drinks or coffee, and then it would either lead to something or it wouldn't. And that went on for a period of time. And I didn't meet my wife for the very first one. It took a bit, right? It took almost 2 years. And then there she was. And I prioritized that. I prioritized dating and I prioritized putting myself out there. It takes courage to put yourself out there, right? And then I have this relationship and then it doesn't work out. You got to start from scratch again. You got to not be discouraged. And so I chose to prioritize that process. And now I have an amazing, incredible wife that I get to share my life with. But that was out of a mindset around time. Okay, the next one, I'm going to Arizona next month for a sales call. And it's a discovery call. And I'm meeting with a gentleman for 3 hours just to get to know him so I can determine if I can help him in his company. And if I believe I can help him, then I'm going to give him a proposal. So here's what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to, an Arizona trip means I get up first flight out, last flight home. So I'm gone the whole day. So the whole day, that will be I have 2 focuses because I'm going to do 2 appointments while I'm there. But the main reason I'm going there is for this initial appointment that I'm talking to you about. So I'm going to meet with them for 3 hours. I'm paying for the plane ticket, the Uber, the this, the that. So it's like, Eric, can't you just talk to the guy over the phone? And why do you need 3 hours? Why don't you just do a 45-minute Zoom? You're good to go. You save the $1,000 in expenses and shoot, you can run a bunch of more appointments that day. No, because this one relationship can move the needle for me. So it's a great use of my time and my financial resources to go and be with this human being for 3 hours on the possibility of building a business relationship. Now, I'm not hopping on planes every day making that type of sacrifice, but for the right person. So in our society right now, the way the thinking is, it's like there's too much around efficiency. Use automated software to message 100 people a day on LinkedIn. And here's the problem with that. Well, there's upside and there's downside. The downside of that efficiency is that when you're reaching out to all those people on LinkedIn, the person receiving the communication receives a automated communication, which is not the same as you connecting with another human being. So it doesn't mean I'm hopping on planes every day, flying out and spending 3 hours meeting with people. Most of my sales calls are done over Zoom or over the phone. But when you have somebody that's that valuable and that important to you in your life, then you hop on the plane. Now, this is not a conversation about planes. It's a conversation about prioritizing your time. my wife's a court reporter, and she had a job 3 hours away earlier this year. And we were having a challenging week, she and I. And so she was busy and I was busy. And she came home to get her stuff for this overnight. She drove, 3 hours away for this appointment. So she was gone overnight, and then she was going to do her job the next day, and she'd be home the next day. So it was just a challenging week for whatever reason what was going on. So 30 minutes after she left, I got in my car and I drove the 3 hours to where she was, and we went to dinner. Now, I was going to see her the next day. But in that moment, because of the challenge that was just in the space, I said, I need to have dinner with her and see her face to face. I mean, I could have talked to her on the phone. I could have FaceTimed her. I'm going to see her the next day. It's not like she's expecting me to drive. So I drove 3 hours. We had dinner, and then I drove home. Because I wanted her to understand that she was the priority. And so the way that I let her know that she was the priority is I made her the priority. So that decision was created in the moment. It's not a strategy, if your wife or spouse is going to be gone, that you go on the trip with them. This isn't a strategy. It's in the moment. I'm just like, something's telling me I need to have dinner with my wife tonight. And if it means 6 hours of driving and clearing my calendar, so be it. I'm going to go just a little bit longer because I want to share a few more ideas with you guys. Mentoring my team. So one of the main aspects of the future of Eric Lofholm International is going to be through my team. And in order to get the team to where we need to get the team, I need to make a time investment, and I need all my inner circle on my team to feel how important they are to me. And one of the ingredients of a successful relationship is time. So you got to really think about these people that are important in your life. And really the question is, are you spending enough time with those people? And do they know how important they are to you? And so the way you do that is you write them a love note, or you do something sincere for them, or you do something unexpected, or you send them a heartfelt text, or you don't just give them a gift card at Christmas. Nothing wrong with gift cards. There's a time and a place for that. But if this is one of the most important people in your life, then you give some thought into that card and that gift, or your expression of love towards them. So it's not all about efficiency. So mentoring my team, pretty much every week I spend one-on-one time with all of my key team members. Okay, next one is improving my skills. All right, my skills right now in the business world, they're as good as anybody on planet Earth. Not because I'm so great, but because I've worked on my skills like Steph Curry works on his three-point shot, or Tom Brady works on throwing the football. But the thing about Steph Curry and Tom Brady, they're still working on their skills, even though they're the best at what they do. So to me, as I get better, the thousands of people that I get to touch on a yearly basis, if I get better, in theory, I'm touching 1,000 people more effectively. So this upcoming year, I'm going to invest around $40,000 in one-on-one coaching. People just talking to me. Why? Because it makes me better. So you should have a strategy of what you're going to do to get better. I got a phenomenal coaching program. If you want to work with me, I got a few slots left, send me a text or an email. Say, hey, Eric, I want to find out what does it look like if I was to work with you and your team? And whether it's working with you're working with me here, but whether you work with me at a deeper level or somebody else, you really ought to have a coach. You really ought to have a strategy of how you're going to get better, because then all the people in your life, when you get better, you touch all those people. When you get better, you're a better husband or a better wife or a better parent or a better person to your significant relationship, or your employees or your contractors or your joint venture partners or your clients or customers, your neighbors, your community. When you become better, it ripple affects everybody around you. And this is why I'm committed to learning. And then the last one is investing financially and investing as a concept. So with investing financially, if you do it correctly, you would put money in and then you make money on your money. And that's a pretty cool thing. So every day, my net worth, pretty much every day, it goes up a little bit, whether I work or not, because I have money in motion that's working for me. So a lot of you have that. If you don't have that, that's something for you to think about for 2022. Go through that course that I offered you today, that free course. Learn about investing. So you want to invest financially, and then you want to invest as a concept. So what does that mean? That means in money, you're going to put money in so it grows. When you invest in a relationship, like me flying to Arizona to meet with the CEO for 3 hours, I'm putting an investment of time and financial resources into a relationship in the hopes that it grows. Investing in your skill sets, investing in your relationships with your children and your loved ones, your marriage, investing in your spiritual life, your time with God, investing in your health. Maybe your health today is good, but if you're not taking care of it, at some point, the bill comes due. So we went kind of long today. I'm not going to apologize for going long, because I wanted to share a little bit more than what we had time for in the 15 minutes. And if anybody needed to hop off, they had that option. So I'm grateful that you're here. You yourself, you as a human being here allows me to live my dream one more time. This is my dream, to do this. And in order to do this, I need you to be here. For somebody to be a mentor, they need a mentee. For somebody to be a teacher, they need a student. For somebody to be a coach, they need somebody to coach. So I'm grateful that you showed up today. So thank you for being here. And we're going to do it again tomorrow. And I think we are going to meet on Christmas Eve. If any of you want to come hang out with me at 7:45, we'll meet on Christmas Eve. And that's going to wrap up our lesson today, guys. Have an awesome day. Thanks for staying long. Marcus, thanks for staying long. Chris, thanks for staying long today. Frank, thanks for hanging in there today. Jim, thanks for being here. Ed Watt, have a great day. John in Argentina, have a great evening. Ron, hey Ron, thanks for being here. Heshi, thanks for being here and for staying. Great to have you here today. Forte, my man, thanks for being here. Bonnie, it's so great to have you here, Bonnie. I'm so glad that you're here. Tanya, thanks for being here. Mark, thanks for joining us today. Steve Shaw, thank you for being here. Angel, hey Angel, good to see you. Abe, great to have you, Abe, as always. Deborah, thank you for being here. Bob in Connecticut, great to have you. Michael Bunga, thanks for joining us. Tom in Orlando, thanks for being here. Gary Wayne, I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Jerry, have a great day. Peg, thanks for being here. Katie, great to have you. Toby, thanks for joining us. Martin, great to have you here today. Kathy, thanks for being here. Have a great morning and a great day. Ricky, thank you for being here. Timmy, thanks for staying for the whole call. Dave in Vegas, great to have you here this morning. And Wes, thanks for being here. True, thank you for being one of my encouragers. I appreciate you, True. John in Canada. John, I'm so glad our paths have crossed. David, thanks for being here. Bobby, hey, Bobby, you're going to have a great day today. And we've got a caller in the 805 area code. Thank you for being here. It's going to wrap our call, guys. Thank you, True. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.